Okay, you can kasama po sa recording yung tilahok ng manok. So, imimit ko muna kayo. Okay? You can react with thumbs up if you can. Practice nyo nga, thumbs up. Thumbs up, yeah. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Find your thumbs up. Okay, there's a lot of thumbs up. If you want to raise a question, you can click raise your hands. Practice nyo nga, raise your hands. Practice the raise your hand. Yan. Okay, you see, nakita na po natin yung raise your hand. Okay, you can press again the raise your hand to put down your hands. Baba na po natin yung raise your hands. Cancel na po natin. Just click it again para po matanggal po yung raise your hand. Okay. Okay, baba na po ang lahat ng raise your hands. So those classmates that will not be able to attend the class, you can review or you can watch the video. I will upload this later on sa YouTube and I'm going to send the link for everyone to review and see again or see for the first time the lesson. Ano? Pero sa ngayon, mag-start na po tayo. Parang balikan natin ng konti. Hapyawan natin yung lipids para siguradong medyo naintindihan naman natin yung lipids. Ano? So, thumbs up if you are able to see the screen. Lipids. Okay? Can you see when I highlight? Nakikita po ba yung hina-highlight ko? Okay. Prayin ko lang po yung highlight. Ano? So, as already mentioned, the monomer of lipids is fatty acids. So, everything that has fatty acids is considered a lipid. No? And fatty acids has 18 carbons in total, making it has, tawag doon, 6 pyruvate molecules, that the mitochondria can use to generate ATP, in their cellular respiration. So basically, there's a lot of energy packed in just one fatty acid. And as already mentioned, you do not actually get fresh fatty acids from dietary sources, but you get more complex lipids that you need to break down into simple cholesterol or lipids that you can digest and absorb in your digestive tract. So, ibig sabihin po, we can get lipids and we can make our own lipids. Okay? Our body uses lipids as a storage. So, if we have too much energy, too much carbohydrates, or too much carbon chains in our diet, then our body, especially the liver cells, get or gather those carbon chains, those pyruvates, and bond it together to form lipids. That's why when you eat a lot, when you eat fatty foods, when you eat sugary foods, you gain weight by increasing your body fat. Your body is doing that because in an eventuality that you're going to need extra energy and you do not have a food source, your body can catabolize those fats, someone else to control of the presentation. Who would do that? Okay, please release that. Okay. Pakinig na lang po muna. Tigilan po muna yung pakikialam. Okay. Tingnan natin. Bakit nga ba mayroon ganun? Open control. Settings. Dali lang po Okay, yan. Natin baka meron pang settings na pwede tayong i-lock out. Okay na. So yan, na-account ko na po, no? Sana po tayo. Distract tuloy tayo, baka ma-extend pa tuloy yung online class natin. Sana ba tayo? So yun na nga. Your body makes up our own lipids if we do not have enough, and we also build it up as a parang sort of a bank so that we can use it later on if we need it too. If we don't have enough dietary source of calories, we can get our own calories from our own lipid deposits. Yun po yun. So kung mataba ka at panahon ng taghirap or taggutom, ikaw ay sumesexy pa lang, yung iba ay nagkakandamatay na. Parang ganun ang idea. So we owe it to our ancestors kung bakit ganito po ang ating form of tawag doon, evolution or adaptation that we have. Yes, sino ba to? Santa Ana? You want to say something, Miss Kate?
Wala lang po yun, nakataas lang po para hindi ko nababa.
Okay. So yun. Dapat tayo. Yeah. So ito yung mga iba't ibang klase ng lipids natin by category in terms of molecular structure, no? So we have triglycerides, ito yung triglycerides po. Triglycerides has 1 glycerol and 3 fatty acids, hence we call it triglycerides. Okay? We have the phospholipids, so lipids or fatty acids that has phosphorus connected with them. Glycolipids, glyco pertains to sugars. So we have a sugar molecule attached together with the fatty acids. Okay, steroid is a cholesterol built with a lot of lipid molecules. Okay, we also discuss about saturated and unsaturated fats. Basically, saturated fats is yung mga animal fats. Unsaturated fats ay yung mga plant-based oils or fats. Exclusive po dito yung coconut oil. Coconut oil is also rich in saturated fats. Kaya yung coconut oil, makikita mo yan, nagso-solidify po yan if the temperature is cold enough. Basta yung fats po, no, yung fats po is nagso-solidify po in room temperature or in colder temperature is most commonly rich in saturated fats. Kapag po hindi po siya nagso-solidify o yung tinatawag na natutulog, most commonly is rich in unsaturated fats. So based on research in the past, even currently, saturated fats daw is considered as medyo bad cholesterol and unsaturated fat daw is considered as good cholesterol. But there's no such thing as excess cholesterol as being good. Always in moderation. As already mentioned, even water can kill you. Okay? Even water can kill you. Do not drink 3 liters of water within 5 minutes. You're going to die. Ganun lang kasimple yun. And it happened already. Nangyayari po yan. Ano? Meron na po tayong documented cases about people dying of over-drinking of water. Literal water. Hindi po napunta sa baga. Napunta po talaga sa digestive system at in-absorb po ng katawan natin yung sobrang tubig at yun yung cause sa pagkamatay niya. Nag-shutdown yung kidneys niya at nagkaroon siya ng hypervolemia. And in any case, nag-fail po yung heart niya. Okay? So yun po. So anything, even good things, when it's consumed more than it's supposed to be, it can be lethal. No? So I'm not saying na do not take fatty foods. As already mentioned in the past, the discussion, fats are necessary for us in terms of energy also. No. Aside from that, we use fats as a structural molecule for our cells. As already mentioned, our cell membranes is mostly made up of lipids, with phosphorus. We call it phospholipids. Our hormones is mostly 50 to 80% lipids. And 30 to 40% protein. So most commonly, talaga kakailanganin mo na lipids or you're going to have problems with your behavior, with your energy kung wala ka pong lipid in your diet. Importante po rin yan. Okay? But again, in us, our body, lipids is primarily a energy container or energy storage. Imagine yourself like a bear, no? Fatting up before winter, no? Before the cold season, and when the cold season arrives and you're fat, you can sleep throughout winter, and and their bodies are going to catabolize the fat energy that is in their bellies or in their body. So yun po. Tapos papayat sila yun. Okay? So when you talk about saturated and unsaturated fats, yeah, it is related to the carbon bonds, ano? When the saturated fats, they have no double carbon bonds or double bonded carbons. Unsaturated fats naman, they have one or more carbon bonded together by double bonds. So as you can see here in the circle, we have here 1 and 2. So we have double bonds. So this is polyunsaturated fats. Kasi dalawa po or 2 po yung kanyang double bonded bonds. If there is only one, that is monounsaturated fat. All in all, there are actually good cholesterols and are good fats. But again, as already mentioned, do not misconstrue yung idea na ito ay good or bad, etc. Anything that is in excess will always be bad for you. Okay? Trans Transsaturated fats are man-made lipids. So man-made lipids, so they are hyperhydrogenated, giving it a longer lifespan, or longer shelf life. So it is usually done to marketed oils that to prolong their shelf life so that marketers or companies can decrease their costs of making their products. Research says that saturated fat is actually harmful to the body. Ayun po yun. Again, monounsaturated fats means it has one double bond lang, no? One double bond. One double bond. While yung polyunsaturated fats have more than one double bonds in their carbons. Carbon chain. Malinaw po ba? Thumbs up po kung naintindihan. Okay. Pa yung another general parang summary natin. We have trans fat, saturated, monosaturated fats, monounsaturated fats, and we have the saturated fat. Bad daw, trans fat, badder, kumbaga. Pero again, anything should be in moderation. I don't know kung nakita niyo po yung sinend ko po sa GC. Nag-send po ako sa inyo ng link ng TED-Ed na video sa GC. Dinidiscuss po nito yung pag-process ng liver natin ng mga lipids from chylomicrons to VLDL or very low density lipoprotein. Okay? And we have LDL, we have low density lipoprotein, and HDL, high density lipoprotein. So this is considered as good cholesterol in our body, yung high density lipoprotein, because it has less fat and more proteins. It is the one that actually cleans up LDL. It eats up the LDL and adds more protein in the LDL and removes the cholesterol or fats, and it becomes, the LDL becomes HDL. Ganun po yung nangyayari. So if you have a lot of calorie intake from lipids or from carbohydrates, you're going to get a lot of chylomicron and eventually VLDL, then LDL. But not all LDL will become HDL. Not all LDL will become HDL. And that's why it's critical that a person maintains its caloric needs rather than increased caloric intake. Ano? Yung kailangan nyo lang pong calorie ang kakainin nyo. No? Wag pong sobra-sobra. Wag masyadong mahilig sa pagkain, lalo na sa matatamis. No? Hindi porke hindi ka kumakain ng taba, pero kung kumain ka naman po ng matamis, ay limpak-limpak, edi ganun din po yun. I-store din po siya as lipids ng katawan mo. Tataba ka pa rin. That's why karamihan po na may type 2 diabetes is yung mga obese or overweight or slightly medyo fat. Okay? So, yun po yun. So, next up, nucleic acid. Dapat pamilyar na kayo dito, nucleic acid. So, already mentioned, this is nucleotides are the, ano yan? Nucleotides are the monomers. Nucleotides are the monomers. Okay? They are the monomers. Sila yung building blocks ng nucleic acid, nucleotides. Okay? A nucleotide has a sugar base, phosphate group, and a nitrogenous base. It's always the sugar, pentose, sugar, yung ribose, and the phosphate, ito yung dalawa, no? Itong dalawa na to. Okay? Yung dalawa po na yan, ang lagi pong nagdudugtong sa bawat isa. The pentose and the phosphate group. Nitrogenous base, usually, depende kung DNA and RNA, sila yung nagmamash sa bawat isa, yung ATGC. No? So sila po yung nagmamatch. Okay, sila po yung adenosine, adenine, cytosine, thymine, uracil, ano pa ba isa? Guanine. So sila po yung mga nitrogenous base. Okay, pakita natin yung general structure po ng ating nucleic acid. So ito yung table showing the difference between nucleic acids. We have the DNA type and the RNA type. The RNA is single-stranded, the DNA is double-stranded, and helical. Medyo naka-twist. Pasensya na po, maingay yung aso. I cannot control that. Okay. Nitrogenous base, as you can see sa DNA, halos pareho lang sila with the difference between thymine and uracil. RNA uses uracil rather than thymine, and DNA uses thymine rather than uracil. That is one major difference between the two aside from the double-stranded and the single-stranded. Sugar molecule po natin sa halip na regular ribose would be deoxy. Ibig sabihin po no, ribose po siya, ribose pa rin. Ribose pa rin po siya, pero she is deoxygenated. De, meaning negative, inalisan. De. Then we have oxy. Anong inalis? Anong inalis? Deoxy or oxygen. So tinanggal natin yung isang oxygen sa ribose. Kaya po siya tinawag na deoxyribose nucleic acid or DNA. Ito, tinatawag na RNA kasi yung ribose niya is perfect ribose, so ribose nucleic acid. The functions ang dalawa is magkaiba rin. DNA is for genetic makeup, no? It carries the record, no? It carries the information of your genetic information. And RNA is for protein synthesis. I hope naturo po to sa inyo nung second quarter last SEM in life science for Earth and Life Science, yung tinatawag na protein synthesis. No? DNA being transcribed to RNA for tawag doon for protein synthesis. Okay? So, yun lang naman po yun. Basically, this is just a review of what should have been taught to you in your second quarter grade 11 first SEM. Okay? So generally, this is a nucleotide. Ito po ang nucleotide natin. We have the phosphate group, we have the ribose group or sugar base, and we have the nitrogenous base. As you can see here, the sugar base is connected to the phosphate base of the second or the following nucleotide, and that again, that nucleotide will now connect to again to the next phosphate group, no, of the next nucleotide. So ganun po ang attachment. So sugar to phosphate, sugar to phosphate. Sugar to phosphate, sugar to phosphate. And this is our nitrogenous base. That in this configuration, an example is guanine. Okay? As already mentioned, kapag ang ribose po ay kulang ng isang oxygen, ito po ay tatawagin nating DNA. Okay? So ito po yung iba't iba nating nucleic acid. Pagagawa ko po kayo ng model ng bawat isang ano na yan, ng mga tawag doon, nitrogenous base. Thymine, sorry, this is adenine and thymine combination, and this guanine cytosine combination for DNA. So ATGC. So lagi pong ganyan. T will always partner with A and A will always partner with T. G and C and C and G. Ganun po yan. So ito po, pinapakita po yung deoxyribo versus regular ribose. Okay? Kung meron po ditong kulang, no, ito po yung X. Pag OH po yan, ito po ay ribose. Kapag H lang, no, pag H lang po, ito po ay deoxyribose. And because missing po yung oxygen. Kaya tinawag po na deoxy. So dito po yung location na nagkakaiba po sila ng ribose nila. That clear po ba? Any question po so far? Naman, hopefully. Nasaan yung thumbs up ng iba? Parang napakadala ng thumbs up. Patalang ang nakikita kong thumbs up. Dapat umuulan ng thumbs up to sa dama nyo. You have 81. You are 81. Sa konti na nakita ko thumbs up, parang hindi po nakikinig yung iba. Okay? So, ayan. Okay, thank you. Okay, so ito yung strand. Ayan, pinapakita po na nakakonekta yung mga sugar and phosphate. Sugar and phosphate. So, nakita natin yung zigzag pattern. Okay? So, ayan po yung backbone ng ating strand ng nucleic acid. And this is our nitrogenous bases connected to the backbone. Okay. Next, proteins. Proteins are different in terms of sugar or carbohydrates and lipids because proteins are not primarily used for energy. They are primarily used as structural protein, a building block of other molecules, yung mga proteins. So, they are the most complex mga macromolecules in terms of structure and function. Like carbohydrates, proteins are also very abundant in living organisms. They are the building blocks or monomers of proteins are what we call amino acids, AA. Amino acids, 20 of which are known to us. No? They are basically 20 amino acids. So meron tayong essential and non-essential amino acid. Pag sinabi natin essential, ibig sabihin po nito, we cannot make it on our own. We have to get it from our dietary sources, from meat, from vegetables, specifically yung mga seeds, no? Yung mga seed-based food sources like yung beans, no? Yung mga nakukuha po tayong essential proteins po doon. Essential amino acids. Pag sinabi, again, ulitin ko, pag sinabing essential amino acids, we cannot make them on our own body. We have to get it from outside of our body, from our dietary sources. Pag sinabi pong non-essential, no? Non-essential amino acids, it means that our body can make those amino acids on our own. And that's not a problem. No? So, hindi natin makuha yun sa pagkain natin kasi yung katawan mismo natin gagawa ng ganong klase ng amino acid. So, yun po pinakapunto. So, an amino acid has an amino group. Makita nyo yan. Meron tayong amino group, carboxylic group, we have the R group. Usually, ito yung nag-iiba-iba sila. Dito po nagkakaiba-iba yung structure sa R group or side chain. Each amino acid has a different R group or side chain which makes each amino acid unique. So ito po yun. Ito yung amino group. No? may nitrogen, parang ano siya, parang NH2, ano, NH2. Tapos ito po yung side chain. Dito po yung ina-attach yung iba't ibang molecule na nagpapaiba doon sa protein ay sa amino acid. Ito naman po yung carboxylic group. As you can see, carboxylic siya kasi meron tayong carbon and oxygen and hydrogen. Kaya tinag na carboxylic. Okay? So ito po yung certain amino acid groups na pwede po nating mabuo sa ating from our RNA na instructed by our DNA. Ito po, pinapakita po dito yung tinatawag na peptide bond connecting two amino acid via covalent bond, no? So that we specifically call peptide bond. A peptide bond is just a covalent bond but specifically related to connecting two amino acids. So we're connecting the carboxyl group to the amino group. So ganun po yun. Connect lang siya ng connect. In this case, dalawa na po ang ating amino acids in a molecule, so we call it dipeptide. So polypeptide kapag marami na pong peptide. So one amino is a peptide. No? Pag pinagkasama mo sila, they will become dipeptide, they will become tripeptide, polypeptide, and so on. Eventually, it becomes a protein. Ang protein po, may mga structure yan. Okay? So we have yung basic, no, primary structure, yung chain lang po ng peptide bond or tinatawag natin polypeptide chain, dugtong-dugtong lang na amino acid. At pag medyo na deform na po or na form na po yung ating peptide chain, it will become a secondary structure. Then kapag na-form na po ng mas pulido yung structure, we have the what we call tertiary structure. Then kapag fully functional structure na to, pag pinagsama-sama na po yung iba't ibang protein at iba't ibang molecule in one given structure, we have the quaternary structure, which is usually the functional protein na may kasama or may attachment ng ibang. For example, this is a hemoglobin protein. There is an iron, no, or heme component dito. No? Hindi na po siya regular protein lang, meron na siyang naka-attach na hindi na po regular na or part ng being a protein or amino acid. Meron na po siya nakahalo, parang naka-adjust na po siya, naka-function na po siya. Ito po yung nagbibigay ng kakayahan ng dugo ninyo na mag-carry ng oxygen or carbon dioxide. So think of it as a tawag doon, sinulid. No? Tipin mo siya as sinulid, lubid, or just a line that you can make something out of. Pwede mo siyang gawing tuwalya, pwede mo siyang gawing banner, pwede mo siyang gawing t-shirt, polo, etc. No? Basta meron ka ng certain thread that you can make up. No? O kaya yung lobo. Kasi mo yung lobo, I don't know, sa mga party, yung mahabang parang hotdog na lobo. You can twist it up and you can make different structures. So, sa umpisa, yung straight line lang siya, it is yung primary. Pag medyo nagsisimula ka ng i-twist or i-make it as a three-dimensional object, you have a secondary. Pag nagpo-form ka na ng unti-unti ng shape, we call it tertiary. And finally, kapag na meron ka ng end product, we call it quaternary structure, which is the final product of a protein. The proteins are known the most abundant organic molecule in living system and have the most diverse functions, which include regulatory, structural, protective, and contractile, transport, and storage. Here are some examples. So, antibodies. Antibodies are proteins that are used by our body as a tool against foreign microorganisms or foreign objects in our body. So kung mababa po production ng antibody mo from your immune cells, you're going to have problems in certain diseases. Madali ka magkakaroon ng infectious diseases and even cancer. Kasi antibody sometimes detect cancer as non-self. Usually, our cells are are identified as self. Okay? While yung mga hindi po sa atin nag-originate or galing sa iba or galing sa labas, is tagged as non-self. So they are attacked by our antibodies and other immune cells. By the way, antibodies are created by our own immune cells. No? Meron tayong mga antibodies that are regularly produced like IgA, IgE, and mga immunoglobulin G, immunoglobulin E, D, etc. on a certain regular manner located in different locations in our body. For example, meron sa immunoglobulin na makikita lang sa dugo, merong immunoglobulin na makikita sa laway, sa tears, etc. Okay? They are produced by our immune cells. But meron tayong mga antibodies that are only produced once a certain specific antigen is detected. Okay? I will not elaborate on that, but general idea is our antibodies are important. So, and again, our immune cells are important because they are the ones who made it. And this is a problem sa mga merong HIV infection. Yung merong human immunodeficiency virus infection that pag lumala leads to yung pinaka-terminal stage which is AIDS, no? Yung autoimmune din ba yun? Ano nga ba? Ano nga ibig sabihin ng isa? I forget the term. AIDS. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Ayan. Ayan. The acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Na-acquired kasi meron siyang HIV infection na tumagal, lumala kasi yung HIV is a virus that directly attack immune cells. Most viruses or other foreign microorganisms attack other cells, but HIV only attacks immune cells, and because of that, humihina yung immune system, kumukonti yung mga immune cells, at dahil kumukonti yung mga immune cells, they are unable to produce enough antibodies to protect the host body against infectious agent like fungus and bacteria and other viruses. Kaya they have low immune system, so madali silang magkaroon ng infection. And ultimately, hanggang sa magkaroon sila ng regular fungal infection up to the brain. No? Nagkakaroon sila ng literal na fungal infection sa utak na literal na inaamag ang utak. Okay? Kaya ang usual end stage ng AIDS ay yung nababaliw sila. Not because nababaliw sila sa kanilang experience, but because nababaliw sila because nasisira na yung brain nila because they are being eaten inside out by fungus. Because our body or their body, when they have AIDS, reacts like a dead body or dead organism that do not react to the environment. No? So yung fungus sa halip na inaatake before they even enter the body of the human or the host, since wala na po siyang antibody or halos wala na po siyang immune cells, the fungus view it as an opening and view it as a parang a dead organism that needs to be catabolized for the recycling of nutrients in nature. Parang ganun na nangyayari. Okay? So next up is the regulatory enzyme. It controls what molecules enters or exits a certain platform or molecule or the cell, etc. It controls what comes in and what comes out of a cell, mga ganon-ganon. It also controls the which molecule will be created or not. For example, ayan, ito. A molecule that controls the production of GDP and GTP. Parang ganon. Next, we have messenger proteins. As already mentioned, hormones are mostly made up of lipids, but most of the part of them is made up of protein. Kung walang protein, hindi rin po mabubuo yung hormones. So, kung walang protein na kasama yung lipids, wala pong hormones. So, there's a balance between lipids and hormones. Or else, you're going to have a problem growing up. You're going to have a stunted growth, hindi ka po tatangkad, or hindi ka po magkakaroon ng tamang mental or brain development. Pwede ka po magkaroon ng retardation, etc. There's a lot of problems that could occur when there's problem with your production of your hormones. Okay? That's why ito po ang pinili ko video in terms of proteins as a messenger. Yung growing, kasi it's very crucial po yung messenger proteins because it tells the body on how we should adapt or parang grow as a human person or as physically grow as a human. Next up, we have as a transport, as already mentioned, yung katulad ng hemoglobin protein na napaka-abundant. We have about 1 billion hemoglobin protein in just one red blood cells. No? So, ganun po karami. So, your one red blood cell could carry about 4 billion, 4 billion, probably 4 billion oxygen molecules in one red blood cells. Kung wala pong hemoglobin ng inyong red blood cells or your plasma, you're going to have what we call anemia, wherein you're going to exhaust easily. Madali kang mapagod, madali kang hingalin kasi you're unable to carry enough oxygen throughout your body, and you will be also unable to excrete or carry carbon dioxide from your cells out to your lungs and outside of your body. Because aside from carrying oxygen, it also carries carbon dioxide, which is important in maintaining the pH level of your blood. If you have too much carbon dioxide in your blood, your pH will go down, meaning you're going to have a lot of hydrogen, free hydrogen in your blood. Your blood becomes acidic. You're going to literally cook or acidify your own organs or cells because you have too much carbon dioxide in your blood. Okay, ganun po yung idea dyan. So, there will be not enough oxygen and there will be too much carbon dioxide. All in all, there's going to be a bad effect in your body kapag wala po kayo ng gantong transport protein na tinatawag natin hemoglobin. Next up. Okay. Kaya mag-play. Tapos supposedly mag-play yan. I don't know, it's not playing. So, this video is supposed to be showing you the movement of your muscle cells. Why, bakit nagko-contract, mayroong contraction ng inyong muscle cells. No? Supposedly, all muscles should shorten and pull your bones towards a certain point. Just like, for example, when I'm flexing my arm, the biceps muscles are contracting. They're decreasing their length. Umiikli sila. Pag umiikli siya, since nakatouch po yung muscle in the radius and ulna, is pulling the forearm forward to me. Or toward to me. So, the joint is acting as a lever, and the muscle is acting as a counterweight to pull the arm and the hands towards me. All muscles act like that. By shortening themselves, it creates a pulling motion. All muscles do is pull, not push, but pull. By shortening themselves, they are acting as a puller, and they pull wherever what they are attached to. In this case, the bicep muscle is attached to the radius and ulna and causing the radius and ulna to be pulled towards me. That's how your muscle works generally. But this is an action of all individual muscle cells in that muscle. So yung bawat muscle cell in your muscle tissue or organ has to contract or shorten itself. So simultaneously, almost all muscle cell, depending on the load. Kasi hindi naman po laging lahat ng muscle cells dapat mag-contract ng sabay-sabay. Depending yan sa load mo. Alam ko siguro na-experience nyo na po na magbuhat ng mabigat na akala mo ay mabigat, yung pala ay magaan. Sino po rito ang nag-try na magbuhat ng balde na akala may laman at ini-expect na mabigat tapos wala naman palang laman or magaan? Ano nangyari? most commonly na-loss mo yung balance mo or na parang nahagis mo or nabigla kang naitaas mo. Kasi you pre-program your brain to tell your muscles to contract every single fiber of their muscles because you're expecting a heavier load. Pero hindi po pala mabigat. So nasobra yung action mo. Kaya yung pag-control ng muscle is depending on the load or your expected load. Pag magaan, you do not have to contract every muscle fiber or muscle cell. So yung mga motor units lang, certain motor units lang ang pagaganahin mo para gumalaw yung dapat gumalaw. Or else masasobra ka ng movement, magiging excessive ang movement mo para doon sa load na yon. So yon. So yung muscle cell magko-contract, again depending on the load, dadami po yung or kokonti lang po yung magko-contract ng muscle cell. But either way, the muscle will shorten generally. Okay? But not all muscle cells can be triggered or contracted, allowing for you to parang carry a heavier load. But again, that's a different question entirely. So the idea is, yung mga muscle cells nyo, they have what we call yung actin and myosin filaments. Those are proteins that interact with one another, causing the cell, muscle cell, to contract. Okay, I will not discuss that further kasi medyo mahabang discussion yun. But the general idea is, napaka-useful ng proteins sa mga living organism in terms of generally because of living. If you want to actually live or do certain actions or movement, etc., you cannot do it without proteins. We have the source of energy, but if we do not have the way or means to get that energy or to move our body or to collect that energy, then wala rin silbi. So we need a harmonious balance between carbohydrates, lipids, and nucleic acids. Kasi importante yung nucleic acids. Kung walang nucleic or may problem nucleic acids mo, DNA and RNA, you will not be able to have proteins. Because proteins are only made up because of the instructions of the DNA and RNA. Are you getting the point po ba? Naintindihan po yung punto natin? Carbohydrates are there so that the DNA, RNA, and the cell can actually do something. No? But if there is no lipids that can be used as a building blocks and a protein that can be used as a building blocks, and without the DNA or RNA to tell how to do it, there will be no living organism. Ganun lang po kasimple. Okay? So ngayon, meron tayong activity. So you're going to draw the structure of the indicated example of biomolecules labeled the parts of the molecules. You're going to draw a glucose, cholesterol, alanine, which is an amino acid, and DNA. Okay? May question po ba rito? You can raise your hands if you have a question about this. Simple naman to, draw and label. There is no one raising their hands. I assume that there is no question in this activity. Next. In 2 sentences, again, 2 sentences, describe the properties of the given molecule. So on your own words, and just 2 sentences each, you're going to describe these 4 biomolecules. Okay? Simple as that. Okay? And activity 4. Okay? So hemoglobin, you're going to complete the table below. So you're just going to describe the type of biomolecule and function of the sample. In this case, the sample is hemoglobin, RNA, plant fiber, margarine. So, na lang po. Konting discussion lang. Parang review lang to. Any questions? Clarification po. May question, clarification po ba tayo mga moms and sirs? Activity. Basically, dapat po kailan ko ba ito checkan? Sa Friday? Dapat ma-checkan ko to sa Friday. By Friday, checkan ko na po yung biomolecule lecture nyo, saka po yung activity nyo sa biomolecules. Maintindihan po ba?
Opo.
Okay? So baka mamaya magsasabi na naman na hindi nila alam, hindi narinig, o hindi sabi, hindi na kukolekta. Again po, ang checking po would be on Friday for bio molecules. Iba na po ang lesson natin bukas sa next klase natin. Kung may klase ako sa inyo bukas na face-to-face, iba na po ang topic natin. So later on, I'm going to post the new lecture and the quiz for this biomolecules. So magiging 3 na po ang quiz nyo po. Hopefully, kinukuha niyo yung mga quiz nyo because baka hindi na po kayo mapagbigyan ng chance na magkaroon ng parang mahabol or maghabol doon sa mga quiz na hindi nyo nakuha on time. Remember, you are given almost 5 days or 4 days to take the exam. So, hindi po pwede na antay mo yung pinaka up to the last minute or last hour, saka po kayo magtitake sa tas kapag nagkaroon ka ng problema, parang gagawin nyo pang excuse yun para maging dahilan para mag-retake kayo or mag-ikuha ninyo out of the designated schedule. Kaya napaka-unfair naman po yun. Be responsible with your own learning, with your own lives. Ha? Kayo po nagbuhay nyo po yan. Kontrolin nyo po yung sarili nyo. Mag-schedule kayo, gumamit kayo ng mga planners, may mga cellphone kayo, may mga alarms yan, etc. Pwede kayong gumamit ng mga apps that will serve as a planner, no? Or parang scheduler. Gamitin nyo po yung mga devices nyo. Ano po si binanggan? Puro Facebook, not Messenger lang or Twitter or no? Gamitin nyo in a proper way yung tools nyo. You have all the necessary tools and equipments that you can use for learning. So yan. I will leave this discussion and I will post this lesson later on and you can review the lesson afterwards. Okay? Any further questions, clarifications? How about the project? Marami nagme-message sa akin about the project. Please lang. I always ask you kung may question o clarification kayo. Tapos pagdating ng Sabado, etc. or magpapasana, magtatanong ko para saan or paano daw yung project. God, why can't you ask me in front so that I can explain it to everyone, hindi yung pa isa-isa. Nangyari kasi, may magte-text sa akin, isang tanong, almost the same question doon sa isa. Then mag-explain naman na paulit-ulit by text pa. Sa halip na I can explain it verbally. And even in some form of demonstration. Tapos magtatanong pa sa akin pa isa-isa. Diba? Sabi, ayaw magtanong kasi nahihiya daw magtanong face-to-face doon sa klase. Di ba mas nakakaya yung magtatanong ka in the middle of the night or in the afternoon during the free time of the teacher via text? You want them to reply in a long text explaining it to you individually? Ano yung parang pa-special ka? Nagagets po ba yung punto ko? Naintindihan po ba yung punto ko? Kung may clarification or kung nalilito po, pwede pong tanongin yan directly in the class para po yung mismong klase naliliwanagan. Naintindihan? Hindi yung pa isa-isa lang. Hindi yung ikaw lang, yung special ka lang nakakaintindi. No? Nagigets po yung punto. Also, syempre, may sarili din po akong buhay. Ano po? Schedule din po ako na mini-maintain. Okay? So again, kung may question po kayo, raise your hand and I will entertain them. May oras pa naman tayo kahit paano. Later rin naman tayo nag-start. Kung may question kayo doon sa last, doon sa papasa dapat bukas, baka pwede pa natin i-clarify po yan since kahit na bukas na baka magawa nyo pa ng last minute changes. Kung wala naman, I would assume again na alam nyo po or naintindihan nyo po yung instruction. Okay? Doon sa cell po, wala pa po akong pinapagawa sa cell, ha? Wala pa pong actual, sa cell, sa molecule, wala pa po akong instruction regarding molecules. Ang pinaka-instruction ko lang po, bumili pa po kayo or ganap na kayo ng mga materials na pwedeng gamitin for building geometrical shapes of molecule. Binigay ko na po yung link ng sample, pero sinabi ko na rin na pwede rin po kayo gumamit ng styro or sticks. No? Diniscuss ko po ano yung difference sa paggamit ng actual model versus styro or other materials. no? Yung positive and negatives ng paggamit ng mga yon. Okay? I don't know kung nakinig kayo o hindi, pero may nagtatanong kung meron nang gumagawa ng molecular models na wala pa akong binibigay kung paano gagawin. Lilinawin ko lang, yung first activity ng molecular models is for basic molecular structures. Yung mga nanduro lang sa lecture, yung mga basic lang, yung trigonal, bipyramidal, yung mga ganon, yung tetrahedra, yun lang. Hindi pa po natin gagawin yung buong molecule ng biomolecules. So, ang gagawin lang po natin yung usually 5 atoms, 6 atoms lang. No? Yun lang po ang gagawin natin. Hindi pa po natin gagawin yung katulad ng glucose molecule na merong ilan ba yon? 24 atoms. Hindi pa po tayo gagawa nun. Okay? That is for another project. Yung gagawin natin activity bukas, supposedly, yung gagawin natin activity bukas is a bring me type game. Bring me type game. Alam niyo naman po siguro ibig sabihin ng bring me na game sa mga birthday parties or sa mga parlor games. Bring me. Sa halip na kung ano ng mga things ang hihingin ko po ay certain models ng molecules. When I say, bring me tetrahedral, gagawa ka ngayon ng tetrahedral, itibibigay niyo po sa akin together with your 1/4. Pag hindi niyo na ibigay yon within the designated time, wala po kayong score. Ganun lang po. Or, sabihin ko, give me a HCl. HCl molecule, hydrochloric molecule. Minsan bibigay ko yung shape, minsan bibigay ko yung molecule. It's up to you to understand what is the molecular structure or to know what is the molecular structure of that molecule. I guess po ba? Reviewin niyo po yung mga activity niyo kasi doon ko po kukuhanin yung mga molecule, yung mga chemicals. Nasa mga activity niyo po yung pagkukuhanan ko ng chemicals. Any further questions? Okay. So, end ko na po yung meeting. Thank you for attending. Teka po na, sasay ko pa po lang muna yung attendance nyo. Download attendance list. Okay. Okay, so, paki-raise nga yung hand ng TVL 11H. Okay, baba po muna yung mga kamay. Okay, wala po munang reaction. Keep the raised hands for TVL 11H. Okay, pakitaas po ang kamay ng mga TVL 11H. Paano ba mag-stop sharing? Ay, mag-stop. Nakalimutan ko mag-stop ng sharing dito. Di lang po Kayong alis, baka di kayo ma-attendance. Stop sharing. Nakita ko na. Again, raise hands po yung mga TVL 11H. Reset ko na nga lang to. Kaya lang baka yung mga pangalan nyo ha. Lan to. So yun ang problema natin. May mga nag-join na yung pangalan is hindi maayos. For example, Ivan Lo. Ano ba ito Ivan Lo? Just lang. This is very important to know. So mga dapat professional kayo pag gumagamit kayo ng username. Next time, if you're going to use a username or an email, make sure you have a separate professional account na nakalagay yung buong o maayos yung pangalan mo. Mamaya pag kailangan mag-go na kayo tawag doon, mag-apply kayo sa OJT or sa trabaho, etc. Tapos gagamitin mo kick ass. Ano nakalagay sa pangalan mo, kick ass. No? Or ladies man, 121. Mga ganun nakalagay. Gumamit kayo ng professional account para pag nakita na ay ikaw si ganyan.